Greetings and welcome to the Contracting Guy. I am the Contracting Guy. Today I want to talk to you a little bit more about market research, particularly thoughts on market research. Now, market research, when you do it, and there's a lot of information about market research, it does take time. And if you're on the selling side of the equation, meaning you're a contractor or a vendor, you're going to have to prospect who your market is, and you're going to have to appeal to them and what they need. So this isn't really focused on the buyers as much as it on the sellers. So this is a seller-centric perspective. What I want to share with you today is some thoughts on it. Now, it's not going to be comprehensive. Perhaps other videos that I'll do will be more comprehensive, or will flesh this out. There are other things on YouTube that you can go to, and they're pretty darn good as well. But this one, I want to just kind of address a question that often is asked. Well, how do I start? But where do I start? Now, that's really a tough question because it depends on the kind of business you have. If you have a physical location and you're restricted by your physical location, meaning you can't go very far, then I call that more geocentric. You've got a geocentric business, and it really relates to a geographical area. It may be 10 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles, 100 miles, could be 500 miles, whatever it is. The amount of time it takes you to drive one day to do what you got to do makes a difference. Now, a geocentric business really has limitations because it really kind of has, in healthcare, we call that catchment area. It's the area of responsibility you have for your patients. In this case here, your catchment area is really kind of determined by how far you're willing to drive to be able to do business. And that becomes important. Now, as we go a little bit further in this, is that your catchment area can expand two ways. One is expand your distance. Others is to subcontract or partner or joint venture with someone else who can expand your area. Many companies do that. They may be the prime on a contract, but they'll have subcontractors working in areas around the country that will help them. And I'll show you the illustration shortly. So that becomes important. A geocentric business really focuses on the area of their catchment, their area of their sphere of influence. And that becomes, that's the way they do it. Now, the good part is that, you have quick response time to that area of focus. The downside is that there are places outside of that catchment area that also need your help that won't get touched by you because they're outside of the group, that catchment area. And I think it's important for you to recognize the goods and the bad, the pluses and the minus in regards to a geocentric business. Now, the other type of business that we have is a non-geocentric business. It means while it may have a home office, it doesn't operate like a home office where it's geocentric. It's actually, that's where they process everything, but everything else is done, let's say via the internet. So they can expand their horizon, past the spot that the home office is, out to, around the world. I mean, that's it. A non-geocentric business can focus on opportunities around the world. And that becomes an important piece to them, is that now they can reach out a little bit further. So a geocentric business might look at only solicitations that come from their catchment area, where a non-geocentric business will look at business across the globe. maybe just in the United States, if we're talking about government, in the United States, small businesses. But generally speaking, the world is available to you. And I want you to think about that as a small business is that, well, what is my catchment area? What do I consider my area of where I want to focus? Now, keep in mind, as you grow as a small business, your catchment area may go from a 10-mile radius to a 20-mile to 50 to 100 to the whole nation in regards to what you can do. But that's because you've grown to that level. Businesses that kind of work toward, well, I want to go nationwide. I said, but you only have a local outreach. How are you going to do the nationwide outreach? So that's a focus that you're going to have to do in your development in looking at your market. How are you going to reach them? What's your capability, capacity? How is that going to happen? Those are things that are going to be important. So I'm going to put up a couple of illustrations that you'll see throughout this, but I want you to take a look at that. Let's keep these words in mind. Geocentric, a catchment area. Non-geocentric, the world. And catchment area, which is an area which you claim as what you're going to focus your attention on. Now, keep in mind also that when you look at sam.gov and looking at opportunities, they're not going to go by your catchment area. They're going to present a global view, predominantly United States view of solicitations. What you have to do is pare it down. If you've got a geocentric business, is pare it down. If you don't, if you have a non-geocentric business, you then you have everything to be able to look at. Regardless of how you go ahead, it's important to recognize where you are. And that doesn't mean you are always going to be there. It's just a matter of where you are right now. As you mature and as you refine your business model, you're going to be looking outside further and further and further. And it's going to help you, as you attack more opportunities and pursue more of your dreams. Well, I hope that's helpful. This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out. Thank you for watching the Contracting Guy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. We'd appreciate that. This is the Contracting Guy. I'm out.